Okay, in my previous example, I graphed the function f of x equals y squared minus 2x minus 5. This is the same function, except I'm calling it y, but it's exactly the same, nothing has changed. Now, in the past, if we had been graphing this on paper or by hand, we would have done something like this. We would have said a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 2, and c is equal to negative 5. And then we would have tried to find the x-coordinate of the vertex, xv, minus b over 2a. So that's going to be minus 2 divided by 2 times 1. Minus 2 is plus 2. Plus 2 over 2 times 1 is plus 2, so 1. And then we would have written a table. And the table would have looked something along these lines. We'd have x, and then we'd have these intermediate columns, x squared, minus 2x, and minus 5, and then finally y. And we would have filled in all of these. We'd have taken the 1 that we got previously and put it into the 4th row of our table, and we'd have put 3 numbers on either side of that. 0, negative 1, negative 2, and then we would have gone into a series of calculations where we apply each number on the left hand side here as x, and we'll complete that table. And it takes a long time. It's a sort of a very tedious process to work out what the y's should be. Now our calculator lets us go through all of that very quickly and just produce the y's. So let's see how it can do that. Let's bring up the calculator. Now, I've already got the function typed into y equals. So y equals x squared minus 2x minus 5. Okay, we've got that. What we're going to do is we're going to use the table setup. Okay, we're going to use table setup, and you'll see up here, table set, it's above window. So any of these functions that are in blue, to get to those we use the second function button, so hit second. If I can get it up, that's it, and then hit that, and that brings up table setup. Now this table is designed to start at 0, and that's okay. We don't have to change anything on this. If you look over here to the right where we drew the table, our table was starting with x equals negative 2. So if you want to, just so that it looks exactly the same as this, we can make it negative 2. And we can change this later if you like, so don't worry about it, you don't have to do it, but we type in negative 2 as our starting point. This little triangle symbol is delta, and what it's asking you is, what should the numbers in the table increase by? In other words, what should the x values in the table increase by? And in our case, they're going up by 1. Okay, so delta table equals 1, that's fine. The next thing you have to make sure of is that the independent, this stands for independent and dependent variable, make sure the independent variable is set to auto. The dependent variable you're unlikely to touch throughout your 4 years in high school, but the independent variable from time to time you'll want to put it in ask. Most of the time though, you're going to go with the independent variable set to auto. So if you have it set to auto and you tell her where to start, the table will just naturally produce this, these figures here. That's our table setup. The only thing we changed was the table start equals negative 2. The only other thing you got to check is independent is set to auto. Now to see the table, we need to hit table. So we had table setup and then table. And table again is in blue. So to get the table, hit second and table. And there's your table. Your x's are in the left column. All the y's are already calculated. So let's bring them up. Sorry about that. I haven't found a way to keep this on the screen yet. But negative 2 is 3. Negative 1 maps onto negative 2. 0, negative 5. 1, negative 6. 2, negative 5. 3, negative 2. And 4, 3. Now if you look at this, we had 1 in the center of it, -6, and then the numbers spread out. They show that symmetry with which we're familiar on either side. Okay, now if you don't want to start at -2, you don't have to. You can scroll up and you can start at -4 or wherever you want to start and go the other way as well. Okay, but for us, it gives us a nice pattern, and it exemplifies the symmetry, it exaggerates the symmetry if we start at -2. Okay, and that's how to produce the table with absolutely no work. Again, I've spent 5 minutes doing that, but really and truly it could be done in 10 seconds. Okay, so try it with some of the others that you've done before just to make sure that you're able to produce the table. Okay, thanks for watching.